all I could think of in my head was, okay, this is a sink or swim situation. You got to sink or swim. You're either going to sink or you're going to swim. You're going to figure this out. Google, how do you sell real estate? So we keep getting pushed to have kids later in life, build your career first, do this. It's okay to want to be a mom, and it's okay to want to not have a career, to work on building the generations that are coming up and build them appropriately. So then they are members of society that make society better.
Okay, on today's episode of the 1% Podcast, we have Kaycee Cafferty joining us. Kaycee is a realtor here in the Boise area. She's part of the Boise Premier Real Estate Brokerage. She and her husband, Eric, also own the Mecca Gym. She's a mom and has 2 boys. And so today we're going to be jumping into all the things about being a business owner, working in real estate, obviously all the changes that have happened in the real estate market here over the past 5 or 6 years, and then talk about being a business owner, being a mom, just trying to balance all those things together. So Kaycee, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you. Women are always really popular on the podcast. It's like the people want more women on the podcast. So we're working on doing that. So we're super appreciative of having you on. You also had the opportunity to come to my mastermind last week. So we're going to ask you some questions about that. And hopefully you got some good takeaways of things that you learned. And we'll jump into that. So I like to start our podcast by allowing our guests to kind of introduce themselves, kind of talk about who you are, where you grew up at, your family of origin, parents, siblings, just kind of what life growing up looked like for you.
Yeah. So I grew up in out past Caldwell, in between Caldwell and Homedale, on a farm, and grew up changing siphoning tubes with my dad for his alfalfa farm. And I went to school in Nampa. I went to Nampa Christian from 3rd grade until I graduated. I have, so I got really into sports. I've always been very driven with sports.
Naturally competitive, yes.
Yeah, so I played volleyball and track, and then later gave up volleyball to just focus on track, and I ended up getting a scholarship to Wichita State, and I ran there the first indoor track season, and we had a meet in Nebraska, and I had a really serious injury. I tore all 4 hamstrings and my gracilis, and so I ended up redshirting, and I was trying to rehab to get back, and just kind of kept injuring it. And so I didn't have a great experience after I'd had my injury. We didn't have a whole lot of support for those injured athletes.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, I don't like Kansas. I mean, it's hard to like. So no offense to anyone who does like it, but I just got really homesick. So I moved back to Boise, went to Boise State. Boise State actually offered me to walk on and be on their track team. But at that point I was really ready to grow up. And I kind of had a taste of being totally on my own, and I really enjoyed that, not having to depend on someone else to help pay my bills and someone else to give me as much help, I guess. So I really wanted to see what I could make of myself. So went to Boise State. I ended up thinking that I wanted to be a substance abuse counselor. I graduated with my degree in psychology and a minor in addictions. Then I went and did my internships, and then decided that's not the life for me. So then I just didn't even use my degree, and I went and got into I still went into the medical field a little bit. I did sales for a clinical research company, and I really enjoyed sales, and I really liked that relationship building that I got to do, and I met so many people that were really impactful that, like, at that age, then it's kind of hard to get in front of a lot of professionals when, especially at that time.
Yeah. In
So
your career, you don't have a lot
yeah, I didn't
in
know.
terms of skill set.
Yeah.
You have time and energy. Those are
Yep.
like the only two things you have to really
Yeah.
exchange.
I can talk, I can smile, and
Show up,
exactly.
dependable,
Yeah. Tell me what to do. So, um, I did that for a while, and Eric and I got married, and then we were really working on getting the gym started.
Okay.
And
what year did you?
so we started the gym in 2015.
Okay. And for those that don't know,
yeah,
the gym is
the Mecca Gym. And during that time, while I was working at that research clinic, then I'd met Eric in college, but so I started competing in bodybuilding because I was always looking for that outlet of I needed competition of some sort that was physical, that wasn't basketball.
And being an athlete, you're used to pushing yourself and going through hard things. And
yeah. And so I got really excited about bodybuilding. And so I competed. I got my pro card in figure in the natural federations. And then I unexpectedly got pregnant. And that was while I was in prep for one of those shows. So I ended up, that was kind of when we were like, okay, we really need to get the gym going now, because I don't know why but that was like the push that was like, we need to get this. We need to do this. Like, it's fun to think about and talk about and dream about, but now, like, we have a family and we're only going to have so much time before we need to be more present and be the ones raising our kids. And so I was 9 months pregnant when we opened the gym on the first day. And probably not the best recommendation, because you're a little emotional and you're a little but it was really important that happened, because I think that if there hadn't been a big push, we were really comfortable, and we didn't, it was just, life was just the way that it was. He had 15 clients a day, and he would go through that, and then I got him all to myself, and that was great after he was done with work. And so getting the gym going was very stressful, and somehow, I don't know how you go from having like those, I don't know, it was probably more like 8 to 10 clients that he had a day, but having that many people and then still running the business. And I got my real estate license at that time too, so that I could have my own separate income from the gym. And that went really well, because I feel like having that pressure of, we have a family to support, it's not just us, is really, that's what drives you, and that's where you find your gratitude or your gratification in what you're doing. It's like
diamonds are just cold. It's been under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
so that was really really good for both of us, because then, for a little bit it can be hard, especially starting a business when you're married to your business partner.
Talk about that if you would.
And
kind of like what those early days started out looking like, right? Like, there's a few different ways to raise capital, which we kind of talked a little bit about last week, but you can either bootstrap it, you can take on investors, you can go take on debt. And so starting a business is difficult, because if you try to bootstrap it yourself, you're taking all of your savings, you're pouring all your money into it. You're kind of like putting yourself in a compromised position. Dump everything you can into the business. You go take on investors. Obviously, now you've got business partners you have to work with and
Mhm.
kind of deal with and struggle with, and maybe their vision's different than yours. Maybe they don't want to be involved, or you go take on debt, and
Mhm.
okay, that can be a way to help you grow, but it's also at the same time like that
Yeah.
comes with pressure that hey, this has got to be paid for every month, and
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where, when we had been in the planning stages, then Eric had a training studio, and we had talked about the guy who had started that training studio having him be a partner in it, and um, I think that that would have been kind of an easy way to do it, but that would have been easy to get the money.
in the short term.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the right fit though.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. There's nothing against that, but there are different mentalities of how you want the business to look
Yeah.
and how you want to bring health to the community. And if you have that as your mindset of we want to create longevity in our community, we want to make our community healthy, and we don't want to give them just like solutions that sound good and sell snake oil.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to be legitimate. And honestly, the hard truth of that is that it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to create discipline in your life, and you have to be disciplined enough to show up and do the work when you don't want to, and change your food. It's not
It's a
going to be easy.
lifestyle.
Yeah, you can't just pick up the box of cereal from the grocery store because it's easy. Like you have to actually make lifestyle changes, change your schedule, make things a priority for your health. And so, having that mindset for the gym, I don't know if it all would have uh, ended up the same way. So Eric put together a performa, and which he was just graduated college.
Yeah.
He's never done that before.
No one ever has first time.
Yeah. But
Figure it out.
I mean, he told me he was writing a performa, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. So
You remember back then, I was in psychology.
yeah. So, he gave that to the bank because that was kind of, I didn't like the feeling of being indebted to an individual person. And I don't think he did either. And you're asking people that to take a risk on you that, when they look at you, then you're 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
So, they're, they're going to look at those risks.
Sure.
And especially with a gym, your overhead is so high. There's not that many, really wise investors that are like, you know what you should do is you should start a gym. So
Of all the dreams, I could deploy capital.
exactly.
James went on the first one.
Yeah. So, but Eric's vision for it is what sold. Because we got a loan for that. We put our entire savings in for the down payment. He pre-sold training. He gave. I know he gave. There was one investor that did a really. I mean, it was like $10,000, like a really small amount. But at that time, then we're like, oh my gosh, that'll buy us like 2 pieces of equipment. That's going to be amazing. Like this space won't look empty. So,
you just do what you have to do, right? Like you figure it out.
Yeah. So we did that, and used an SBA loan. There's positives and negatives with all of it. It just seemed like the less personal one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, got it going. Hired employees, which that was a whole new wave of what this is a lot harder than just running a training studio where it's just all reliant on you. And there was probably quite a few nights that we both were kind of like, what are we doing here? Did we just give up
Someone didn't show
something?
up, or then having to fill their shift, or
Yep.
finding someone. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the things that come with employees. And,
Yeah. And so we had a kids care in there, because we had taken over an old body renew,
yeah,
and I was adamant that we had kids care, and Eric was like, none of my clients bring their kids to like, what are you talking about? And I was like, no, then I have kids care for our children.
kids.
So,
Yeah.
um, it, and that actually brought its own headaches, because then it is having someone just do kids care. And I don't blame anyone who didn't love that job, because it's
Stuff.
tough. Yeah. I mean, it's not your kids. It's hard to, yeah.
And in
And
daycare, they generally have like the same kids for an extended period of time,
yeah,
right?
they develop a
Long hours.
relationship
Yeah.
with them. Yeah.
Okay. You gotta have some consistency.
Mhm.
Whereas at the gym, it's a different mix every single day, different kids.
Yeah, yeah. But, so, there was a lot of stressors with that. We got it figured out for the most part, though.
So you're jumping over the hurdles of finding a space,
Mhm.
buying equipment, hiring employees, building out, okay, what does this actually look like? Who's doing what? Are we offering kids care? Like
Mhm.
all those kinds of things, right? It's like the things that you don't know what you don't know. And the more you jump
Mhm.
into a business, the more you realize like there's so many layers to everything that you have to do and
Yeah.
figure out. And, when a light breaks, who fixes it? Or how do we,
Yeah.
whatever
Mhm.
those issues are, there's just so many when they come up in business when you start a business, and you're going to wear all those hats. Like you're going to be the janitor, you're going to be the electrician, you're going to be the
Mhm.
social media content creator, you're going to be the one selling memberships, you're going to be the one,
Yep. Yeah.
negotiating the lease and figuring out
Yeah.
buying new equipment or whatever. And
Yeah. No, I definitely took on the janitor role a lot, and, selling memberships.
yeah,
Um and I ended up putting my real estate office in the gym, which I didn't think about it that way, that, oh, my real estate office is in the gym with all of these people
yeah,
that I already have a relationship with. Um, it just so
smart.
happened that I did that so that I could do 2 jobs at once,
Yeah.
and, it worked out really well for me.
I remember the
So,
first time that I walked into the gym in like March of 2022, and I saw your office in there. I was like, that's really smart.
yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's funny because didn't even think that through the right way, and my broker, he's been my broker since I got my real estate license, and, he came to our gym and he's like, That's exactly that's exactly what I would tell you to do, that's really good." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that was totally my idea." Yeah, it was actually, yeah, okay, cool, and then, set up, um it made that career for me take off pretty well,
Awesome.
and so that was really good, but yeah, it definitely helped, all of the difficult things that we went through with getting it started and being like a mom and pop gym, then that created so many other opportunities for personal growth and for just like meeting people that I never would have met before.
Yeah.
Um, and it's one thing that I had a few years ago, like a moment where I was kind of thinking about that, 'cause it's really easy to look at all the negatives and all the stressors, and it's like, I had the opportunity to meet, like, these 2,000 people that I never would have met before, there's no way our paths would have
Yeah.
crossed, and they were so impactful in, just me learning about how we should make changes to this and how we should, this would be way easier if we, did something this way, and, um, it the amount of people that you just have genuine conversations with that are, so ready to offer up advice or be helpful in any way, I mean, it was or just supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing that I think made the gym really beautiful, was that, the people that came there were dedicated. They were driven. I mean, they all understand discipline.
Yeah.
They all understand this. And sometimes they just see us now we're 25 and they're like, "Oh, you guys could use a little help." So, like that was really what made the gym really amazing, I
Well,
think.
I feel like you guys have been really intentional with your business model that you've created there. That, in the fitness industry, there's so many different business models that people employ when they're starting a gym. And yours is like the antithesis of the Planet Fitness model, right? Where we want 93% of our members to never use their
Mhm. Mhm.
membership. You guys are the exact opposite, right? You are trying to cater to people that want to be disciplined, that
Mhm.
want to come every day, that want diversity of equipment, that want coaches and
Mhm.
trainers there, that want this to be, a high level experience with other people that are pushing themselves to be the best that they can. And so I think that you guys have been intentional about creating that culture there. And I think that's why a lot of people love
Mhm.
it and want to be members at the Mecca and really enjoy, not just the equipment, not just the actual physical gym itself, but the community that the gym
Mhm.
offers. And it's pretty easy to see how that would flow really well into your
Yeah.
real estate business.
Yeah. Well, and I mean that the culture of it, I mean, that's thanks to Eric. Like he's the one who created that. He's the one who um I mean, there had been we'd had employees or people say like, we don't really know what you're about. Like what are you about?" And it was like, "Are you a bodybuilding gym or are you a box gym?" Like we don't know. And Eric, what the way that he created it was that, well, we're kind of all of it, but we want you to be here. We want you to be here and experience it and develop that lifestyle that will create longevity and be able to, um, we want you to see all of this new equipment and be able to see. I mean, we were the first gym that had anything that was we didn't have anything that was Life Fitness, maybe our treadmills, so or Matrix, like,
Yeah.
every other gym just got a line, and that was the way easier way to do it.
Yeah.
But, Eric was intentional with what equipment he got, how the, when you use it, then the different ways that you'll feel different muscles working and things like that. Um, and so he was the one who really created the culture of, yeah, we want if you are into bodybuilding, we want you to wanna use this gym. And if you're into powerlifting, we want you to come and use this gym. And, like, those are 2 really hard things to do.
Yeah.
And,
Those are very specific demographics.
mhm, and but also, if you just wanna be healthy, we want you to come to the gym, and we want you to understand that there is a level of, yes, going to the gym is good. It's good for you to do, but you also have to try really hard when you're there, and you'll see, um, the difference that that makes so much faster. I mean, if you look at someone who has never lifted in their life and then they start working out 3 days a week and it's just kinda light, but they see changes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're going if it's intentional, each exercise you're doing, and you're intentional with, how you're training, then how much more effect that's gonna have on changes, and that's what's exciting. That's what keeps you there,
Yeah.
is when you do see your body change and you do see things, uh, your health improve and, your cardio improve, and you go through different seasons of, like, what your, um, goals are and what you're doing and what's the long-term goal versus, what do I wanna be like in a month from now or in 6 months from now?
Yeah.
So, that's the other part is that I think that it's important to do hard things, and life is so easy now for a lot of people that sometimes you have to create the hard. Sometimes you have to create that and do that because that's still going to do something um, even though it's something that you're forcing yourself to do.
Make sure we get a sound clip of that because that's like totally perfect. No, it really is though,
Yeah.
because like I've often thought that to myself that life is so convenient.
Hmm.
No wonder so many people are out of shape and overweight and unhealthy
Yeah.
when theoretically it should never be easier to be healthy,
Hmm.
but in practicality, it's actually more difficult to be
Hmm.
healthy than it ever has been
Yeah.
before because we have so many conveniences, right? It's so easy to just say, I can work from my computer. I
Hmm.
go get in my car and I go drive somewhere. I drive past 50 different fast food places where I can go eat something really unhealthy, and then I can go sit down at home. I can get on my phone or watch
I can
Netflix or
pay
whatever.
more for a salad or for my avocado than I would getting French fries,
Yeah,
like, which taste really good.
yeah, yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's so, but I think that it's really easy to get complacent in just your daily routine, and that's really what shapes your success in everything else too. So, I when our kids got they were, let's see, I think when Walker was in first grade, then he was having some behavioral problems in school, and um I didn't know what to do because we would talk, and he's great at home, he's great at the gym, he's great at all of his activities that he would do. I mean, he's in like 10 sports,
Yeah.
like everything he would do, he's really good. So I'm like, why is it just at school? And so I was really trying to like dissect and think about it because all of the parenting advice that you get is like, listen to your child, let your child decide what they want to do type of a mindset. And so we started having them work out in the mornings, and we had this conversation. I was like, okay, we're going to start setting up your day with success. You're going to start making accomplishments before you get to school. And then when you get to school, then you have to keep those going. So your accomplishments are going to change though. So I want you to overcome something that's hard first thing in the morning, and then you're going to go to school, and you're not going to want to sit there and listen to your teacher and take notes and do the things like try to read and do all of these things. But you're going to overcome it, and you're going to do the best that you can. And so he started, we lived in this little neighborhood, and our house, there was 4 houses. So it was probably about, if you ran the square, it was about 400 meters.
Okay.
So in the mornings, Walker would get up, and Logan is in kindergarten. So I'm like, you're going to be extra good. So we would run 1 lap around the block and take a minute, and that was our warm-up lap, and then we would run as fast as we could, as far as we could, and then try to get a little bit farther every morning, as going as fast as you could. And so then, you set the first day, and they think it's super fun. Then the second day, then they're really motivated and excited to go. And then after a couple weeks of that, then they're like, do we have to do that? Like, it's raining outside, and it's
Kind of boring.
yeah,
Done it
like,
so many times.
yeah, and look, we're late for school. Like, can we just not? And I was like, no, we're never going to miss a day because this is something that now, maybe you hurt yourself and it's really hard to run as fast as you can, but we're still going to do this just because it's hard. And now you know that you overcame you not wanting to do it, and you did it anyways. And maybe you didn't get as far as you have done your best, but we're still going to do the repetition for it because this is what sets you up for a good day at school. And I will tell you, the days that he didn't do a run, I would get an email from his teacher every single day he didn't do his run that he was disruptive in class. But the days that he did, so then it was like, yeah, we're definitely never missing that.
Yeah.
So,
Just showing that discipline, that consistency, and then obviously seeing the
yeah,
outcomes that were coming from that.
yeah. And I mean, it's just amazing how much it helped, but it's so easy. Like, that's an easy thing to do. We didn't have to leave the house. We didn't have to all we had to do was get up a little early and, make sure that we had the structure in the morning of, "This is what our mornings look like. We're going to do this repetition every day," and, as they get older, then, like, we've added to it, and they love it, and so it started out super fun, and then you totally have that, "Okay, this isn't that cool
Yeah.
anymore. Why
Yeah.
am I the only kid who does this?" But, yeah, now they look forward to it, and it's good.
Well, number one, I think you're an awesome mom for just like being intentional and thinking through stuff like that. And I think that's like a great parenting lesson for me and for anyone else to just think through ways of helping your kid and rather than be like, oh, well, what's the problem? Hey, just knock it off. Just don't be like that. Or, oh, maybe the teacher's just picking on my kid. The teacher doesn't like my kid. Owning it, taking responsibility for it, and then putting a plan into place of, okay, how can we actually get better at this and realize like he's a boy and boys aren't really designed to go sit,
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
class, be docile for 7 or 8 hours. So
Mhm.
I need to come up with a way of helping him get his energy out and he can
Mhm.
build consistency and learn some of these life lessons from doing that. And he's going to push himself and every day he can get a little bit better, make
Mhm. Well, I
small
mean, in the
improvements.
end, then that is, it's building confidence
100%. That's
because
what confidence is.
yeah, you have to be able to overcome, uh I mean, you have to have accomplishments.
Yeah.
That's where you get
You have a
your
stack of evidence that shows that you can do
mhm.
something like, oh, I've done that before. I can get up early in the morning. I've done that before. I can
Yep.
go run when I'm tired or when I don't want to. I've done that before. I
Mhm.
can go get through a class because I've done that before. I can go,
Yeah.
yeah, figure out how
Mhm.
to start a new business because I've done that before. It's like you just
Yeah.
start stacking that evidence.
Yeah. And I mean, it it's helped I mean, to this day, then it's like you can see a difference in what just from because when you talk about what adults need to do and how we need to do things in order to be successful and disciplined and thrive in business or thrive in whatever area of life you're working on, then it gives you an application um, of this is what the outline looks like. And these are the things that I need to do. And it's going to be the same outline across the board. It's just, some of those things might change
Yeah.
depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know I need to be more disciplined with actually posting on social media.
What? Where are you going with how's that?
I know it's been like 2 years. So, but just the kids and sports, I think is really important for them because it's given them what it means to set those goals. This is my short-term goal. This is my 1 year from now goal, and this is what I wanna be when I grow up. Like, whether that may change, and that's okay, but,
It's good to have a direction. It's good to have something that you're working for.
mhm, yeah, and it'll provide other, avenues that will open up different things. I never thought I would get into real estate. Like, I didn't I didn't even really know what that meant.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Realtors
"Oh."
are the ones that have signs in people's yards.
Yeah, so I get to
Call me if
stick
you want
my
to buy that
sign in
house.
there and go and walk into any house I want?
Yeah.
Like, really? Okay. But no, it created an opportunity for me, um, and that actually came about because of people from the gym and, um, meeting my broker there and meeting, different people that have been impactful in the real estate community and giving me a drive for that and kind of it gave me the template of what I needed to do to be successful in real estate at that time, and then things to try to apply to the gym, ideas and things I can do to be helpful and support Eric in the gym, and other business avenues that we're working on doing different types of growth that we're trying to
Yeah.
do, um, and also being able to then change directions a little bit and uh, find in life what is more fulfilling as well. So, I mean, one thing that I learned too was that I needed to take care of my home better. Like, I needed to my kids needed to be able to come home and have their chores and their things that they need to do and to contribute to our family, but also like I need to set the standard for that. And everything that Eric and I try to do is leading by example. And we can, you can tell a kid or an adult or anyone all day long what they need to do, but if you don't actually do it, and then what are they listening
Yeah.
to? So they're hearing words.
Yeah. Your personal brand is what you do, not what
Mhm.
you say, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. If you don't tell people what it is, you show them.
Mhm.
People
And
really do it.
it's so much more impactful. I mean, the kids will go to school and they have a overweight PE teacher, then they're not super excited about listening to them.
Yeah.
But also they're kind of skewed because they grew up in a gym.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they grew up around bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I wanted to ask you, you look at, it's always fun for me. You start to like see kind of the painting of someone's life as they start talking about what their childhood was like,
Mhm.
things that they did growing up, going and running track in college, competing in bodybuilding, starting a business, getting into real estate. And I'm guessing probably all of these areas to some degree or another, you had a coach, a mentor, people that have like helped you along the way. What would you say like the value of coaches and mentors has been in your life and helping you expedite the process of
yeah.
getting better at something?
Um, so I actually was able to be taught track. My coach was the world record holder in the high jump.
Wow.
And he was from the Bahamas, and his name was Troy Kemp. And he was incredible and he had been my coach from I started track when I was in 7th grade. Just my sister was on the track team and I was at her track practice and uh she was trying to high jump and I
Shout out to Haley.
shout out to Haley. High jump was not her thing. It was mine. But she was practicing high jump and I went out there and I jumped higher than all of the high school girls. And my dad was at the track practice and he was like, "We need to get you into track." And he he was really so my dad was pretty amazing in the fact that he had no idea about anything to do with track. He was a basketball guy. Um and but he got every single video that you could watch on, VCR.
VHS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And every book, and he found Team Idaho track program and they did club track. So that summer we started club track and he knew nothing about it. And he educated himself so quickly so that he could be helpful for me and so that he could actually help coach me with it because my dad was made to be a coach. He was very I actually wish that more coaches were like him because he was very blunt with you. He was very direct with the amount of kids that would come over to the high jump pit because they didn't want to run. Then he was very honest and was like, "This is not for you." So, but he uh he taught himself enough to get me started. And then I met my coach Troy, and that was through Team Idaho. And I was really blessed and lucky that I had him because he he put everything into a whole new perspective. Like at that time, everything is, you're a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm feeling really good about myself and that, I can high jump this high. And then you just look at the way that this guy moves and you're like, I've never seen anyone be able to just walk and look so graceful and fluid the way that they walk.
Yeah.
Like, what does it look like when he runs?
Yeah.
And so then I started training with him. I got into I went to nationals quite a few times through high school, and those were really good learning lessons because a lot of what Troy would talk to me about was just like being focused, and you have to go through in your head like what your approach is going to look like before you high jump. And he I didn't listen to him very well at first, and so the first nationals I went to, I totally biffed it and didn't even make a height at all. Just let myself get too nervous,
Yeah.
and then um, the next year that we went, then I got second at nationals, and um, and then I ended up doing the heptathlon, and that's 7 events, and so, but everything came from him giving me extra training to do, like going to track practice and just high jumping isn't going to be enough.
Yeah.
If you want to actually do something with this, then you need to put in that extra effort. And so he would tell me that, and I would, in my mind think about I'm in 8th grade now, 9th grade, and what can I do? Okay, I'm gonna just start doing sprints because I'm gonna get some power. So then I started making myself do extra workouts at home and getting better and doing plyometrics that I knew. So then the next time I would go and see him, then I would be way better at my athletic ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but he was very influential in um, just learning that there's a lot higher levels than what you're at when you're in a 2A school and you're in Nampa, Idaho.
Well,
So,
I think again you're just painting that picture really clearly. If you can just see those principles like moving forward in your life of like envision what you want this to look like, prepare in your mind, like think through like what do my steps look like since on my path, like envision this before going and putting in additional preparation outside of just practice. I think that's one of the reasons I love sports so much is I just feel like it teaches you all of these principles
yeah.
so that when you go change the arena,
Mm-hmm.
the principles are still the same.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, I'm not high jumping anymore. What am I doing? I'm
Mm-hmm.
selling real estate or I'm starting a gym.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what's going to make me successful at real estate? The same things you did in high jump. Well, running and plyometrics and jumping, that's not going to make you better at real estate. But the principle of preparing,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out how to do more, like doing your work ahead of time, envisioning like how you want this to look, like thinking
Mm-hmm.
through, okay, what questions is the client going to have? How can I prepare? How can I make sure that
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating the best experience possible for them? Like all those same principles just carry forward. Okay, if we're starting this gym, thinking through what does this look like? We're going to have childcare. What type of equipment is going to attract certain people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we need to promo this or create things that are going to get people in? Like,
Yeah.
you're just doing all the same work, and
Totally.
the arena has just changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really easy to overthink things, I think, when you're looking at different stuff. 'Cause I think a lot of people struggle because there's the amount of wow, I can talk. The amount of bodybuilders that show they are so disciplined. They will go a year on eating the exact same food every single day.
Chicken and rice every day,
Yep.
3 times a day,
Yeah.
5 times a day. Whatever.
They will get up at 5 a.m. and do their morning cardio. They will come back to the gym after work and they will do their lift, and this is what they do and they don't change it. And then I think people overthink it when it comes to business or life or like raising a family or whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. The first step is following those things that you're really good at. You're a really good bodybuilder. Or you're really good at track, or you're whatever it is. What did you do to prepare for that? That's the same thing that you should have the mindset for, is you have to start somewhere. And a lot of times it's the little things that people will scoff at.
Yeah.
When I was starting real estate, then my dad, my dad was very against me starting real estate.
Oh, really?
He was like, there are a lot of realtors and you
Well,
shouldn't do
barrier to
that.
entry, a lot of people say
Yeah.
it.
Like no one thinks highly of them type of a thing. And he was like, whatever you do, don't try to sell anything to your family or to your friends. And I was like, then who do I sell it to? Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? And it's funny because no one would say that. Like, that's never the advice that you give to any real estate agent.
That's where you
But
start.
yeah, but that was actually the most helpful thing because then I had to learn how to talk on the phone better to someone that I don't know. And I paid for this service to send me all of the expired listings and canceled listings and for sale by owner stuff. And I am begging these people to let me
List their
try to
house
list
for 'em,
their
yeah.
house. And I'm like, discount, like, what do you want to pay me? What can you pay me? Can we make it like $1,000? Can I sell your house for $1,000? So
Sure.
yeah, just trying to get experience
Yeah.
so that I can be competent
Yeah.
when I do have someone that is a friend or a family member and they can actually trust me. And that was probably actually the best thing that I did, because I felt like I was being productive, because it's really easy when you're just getting started in real estate to sit there and twiddle your thumbs and be like, who's gonna show up and knock on my office door?
And say, hey, I have this $10
I'm
million
ready.
house I want to sell. Will you
Yeah,
sell it for me?
exactly. Yeah. That doesn't happen. So it made me fill my day with productivity. And I got a lot of listings that way, actually. They were all, I mean, I worked for dirt cheap,
Yeah.
but um, they all gave me referrals afterwards because I actually was able to
Your butt
develop
off
those
for 'em, yeah.
relationships. Yeah. And like I ended up selling like 4 houses in one neighborhood because all of these neighbors of this one house that had been a for sale by owner, then they all started calling me. And I think it's because that person was like, oh, she'll do it for cheap. But it gave me that
Yeah.
experience. And it was really important to have that and overcome all of those obstacles because that's also I was not comfortable doing that. Um, because I'm like, so I have to be an experienced real estate agent to call them to get them to give me their listing. I'm like, what if they ask me how many houses have you sold?
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
Like, so but I was honest and I just was like, look, I really want to sell your house. I'm growing my business. Really I'm ready to do all of the things
Yeah.
that I need to do.
I'll work my butt off for you.
Yeah.
Just give me a chance.
And it panned out.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people entrusted me with their life savings essentially in their house.
Well, I love it because this goes back to like what we talked about a lot, the mastermind, right? And mindset, skill set, network.
Mm-hmm.
First, your mindset has to change of I can go do this. I can figure this out. Whatever it takes, I'm going to go reach out to these people. Like that's an
Mm-hmm.
abundance mindset. That's something like, oh, I'm scared. I'm not going to talk to people on the phone, or oh, they don't want someone, or they probably have another real estate agent. They know they have someone in their family or friend. But like overcoming those sorts of things,
Yeah.
having the ambition and the willingness to pay for that service, have the faith that I can go get leads from this and I can go create opportunities, to go calling those people, generating those opportunities. And then at first, the only thing when you don't have a really marketable skill set, the only thing you have to trade is time and energy. Right? It's like when people are brand new in any industry, it's like, well, I don't really know anything, but I'll work really hard and I'll give it a ton of time and energy. Because a lot of times you may have someone that's been selling real estate for 30 years, but they're not going to work very hard on a transaction. It's like they're not going to like actually give it a lot of effort and put time into it. But yeah, Kaycee may not have a lot of experience, but she'll go work her butt off. Yeah, she may not know everything to do, but she's going to go figure it out. And you just go start trading those things and you start getting that experience little by little by little. And pretty soon, like you develop a skill set that people are willing to pay for, that people value. And I think like this is a perfect illustration of that very principle, that the better you get at something over time, more opportunities will come to you.
Mhm.
But how many real estate agents are there? I forget what the statistics are. I saw this a couple of years ago. There's something like 80% of real estate agents end up getting out of it within like the first couple of years,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like, why is that?
Yeah. Well, because it's harder.
It's
Yes, the
harder,
barrier of
right?
entry
Yeah,
is really low,
yeah,
but um, because the barrier to entry is so low, there's a lot of them.
yes,
And when there's a lot of them, it can be really discouraging. I mean, the amount of people that I had met at our gym that were like, so I wanted to use you for real estate, but I mean, I have two sisters and a brother-in-law that's all in real estate.
yep,
And so I have to use one of them.
yep.
It's like, it's
I get
don't
it.
don't burn those
Yeah,
relationships. If you have questions, please come to me.
yeah,
And you know what happened? Most of them, I missed their first deal. Most of the people that had said something to me, then they came back when they were ready to sell that house. Or like they ended up using me at a different time because it was like I didn't get mad at them. I'm okay
yeah,
with like I understand.
yeah,
So and then but like just being supportive and being able to be like, well, that's not my deal, so I'm not gonna encourage you or be helpful or like,
sorry you didn't use me on your last deal. Like,
yeah,
I get you.
I'm not gonna hold a grudge against that. Like, I get it. So,
Continue to be there, be a source, be someone that they can feel comfortable talking to, be someone that's willing to like give information.
yeah.
And I'm a firm believer, like people ask me all the time, like, why do you like spend so much time doing a podcast and like giving away all this information for free? You could be charging people for this, right? Like people
Mhm.
should be charging, to come meet with you or to come take your classes or whatever. Like I just believe that if you just set yourself up as a source of knowledge for people and you just go give it away,
Mhm.
that's going to create way more opportunities for you than you could ever get
Yeah.
otherwise, right? And so
Well, and
it's
you're
part of the reason
building
why I'm
trust.
yeah, that's why I'm so big
Yeah.
on the whole social media thing is like you want people to know you, to like you, and to trust you.
Mhm.
And if they don't know who you are, they're never gonna like you. And if they don't like you, they're never gonna learn to trust you. And so
Mhm.
you just have to like go show that to people. Like you have to go put yourself out there, and it can be uncomfortable because people,
Yeah.
can say rude things here or there, or you may have a bad experience and think, oh, no one's even gonna watch that, or no one's gonna
Mhm.
get anything from that. But like the more you just put information out there and go put yourself accessible to people, like people are seeing that, people recognize that, people think like, okay, you know what, like
Mhm.
I should reach out to Kaycee or hey, I have this question on this thing. Like, and you can just make yourself accessible. Hey, if you have any questions, hit me up. No obligation. You don't have to like use
Mhm.
me for anything. If you have questions about real estate, like
Yeah.
hit me up. Right.
Well, and remembering to follow up with people. That's like one thing that I felt I had to really work on was uh remembering like I see that person every day
Yeah.
and I need to remember to follow up with them. Hey, how is that deal going?
Yeah.
Is everything going smoothly? Like
Yeah.
I'm excited for you that it is. Like
Yeah.
how exciting you get a new house.
Yeah.
Invite me to your open house
Yeah.
sometime, you
Totally.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's like create that's how you create those relationships
For sure.
is actually putting effort into it and building that trust
Well,
that
I'll use the example of like you and I, like
mhm
our friendship, you and I and Eric and my wife Melanie. It's like I, we used you. We're building a home right now.
mhm
You sold us the property. You handled the transaction for us. It's like I have tons of other realtors that I'm
yeah,
close friends with, like
absolutely.
dozens of them,
Yeah.
and I've used them on deals, but I don't use the same person for every deal.
Mhm.
And you could have gotten mad at me and been like, "Hey, Cam's never used me on a real estate deal yet," but like the opportunity came across, and we were
Yeah.
super happy, and you did an amazing job for us,
Yeah.
and like those opportunities just come. But like when you're there and you're accessible and you're someone that people
Mhm.
see and know, and you have a sense of authority and competency where people have confidence that you can go do what you say you're going to do. Like,
Mhm.
doesn't matter whether you're in real estate or you're in any other industry, just like
Mhm.
attention is a currency.
Yeah.
So the more that people can see you, the more that people recognize you and your brand and what you stand for and what you do, like the more value that just creates in more people's eyes. So no,
Mhm.
I think that's a great illustration of that. So we talked about having a coach and the impact that that had on you in track. I love the
Mhm.
example that you gave. How have you noticed that same thing in business? I'm guessing that along the way you've probably had mentors that have helped you
Mhm.
in business as well, and
Yeah.
maybe who some of those people have been, or the impact that they've had on you, and feeling like did that save you time and years and help you get where you wanted to go faster? Like what's kind of been your experience with having coaches and mentors?
Yeah. So for real estate, on that side of it, then my broker Brett and actually Ryan Miner is a developer, and Brett Brett is incredible. He's the best broker that you could have.
Love Brett.
Yeah, he is so willing to help, and I don't know how he has that time. And I'm pretty sure when I first got into real estate, because I had a lot of deals right up front that were all really one-off weird things. Nothing was the same. Like agents that had been in the business for 30 years were like, I didn't know you could do that.
Huh.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that that was a thing. And Brett, I'm pretty sure he got worried that one of these phone calls that he was going to get from me was going to be like, so I'm getting sued. I like, he, um, he mentored me a lot and helped my mindset with what real estate needed to be, setting up, this is what your sphere is. This is how you like you need to be reaching out to people and so just getting business, but then from there supporting you while you're getting it. My first deal that I actually did was a $1.2 million house, and it was at that was a time when there was like $5 million houses.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
there just wasn't very
Yeah.
many of those.
Well,
And
it was
I
not very many years ago. It was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I think there was a house that sold for like $2.6 million, and it
Mhm.
was the most expensive property that was like under 50 acres or whatever. It was the most expensive single family property that had sold in Idaho, like
Yeah.
ever, right? And this is
Yeah.
like a few years ago. So
And yeah, now we're getting upwards
yeah,
of 10.
yeah,
Um,
$1,000 million plus transactions a year.
yeah. And he was like, "Where did you meet these people?" I was like, "At an open house." They just walked in and I was just sitting in this open house and they walked in. But he he was so the first thing he said to me when I got in there and was like trying to get these deals, I was like, "So what do I do?" And he's like, "Go sell real estate." And I was like, "I don't know what that means." Like how do you sell real estate? I went to school for real estate, but I didn't learn how to sell real estate. And he's like, "You just got to go do it." And all I could think of in my head was, okay, this is a sink or swim situation. You got to sink or swim. You're either going to sink or you're going to swim. You're going to figure this out. Google, how do you sell real estate? So but I love that. I know a lot of people don't love that. They want to go to a Keller Williams or somewhere where they can get all of the education and sit in a classroom and have a mentor and things like that. But I actually thrived on having my mentor be a little bit more hands off. And I can't really speak for his business, but he is he attracts those people that are go-getters
Yeah.
because our brokerage has grown so much since I've been there. I think when I got there, I was number 130 agent, and I don't know how big it
Yeah,
is
he's
now.
over
But
300 now.
yeah, I want to say it's got to be six. Like maybe not. I don't know, but he's grown it to, and he's also made it so that it is people that are um, very they are very good business owners they don't need a lot of help. They don't need a ton, like they don't need the classes and the education. They're just going to go and handle their sphere and do it. And it's great because of those people that he's attracted. Then we have so many agents in our brokerage that didn't know it, but they were a mentor to me. And I maybe didn't tell them, like I would talk to them about what they're doing in their business, and they're very open about all of that. But just the mentorship of seeing how people do develop their own relationships and how they run their business, then that was um, really helpful for me in growing it. And I think with the gym or any other business that we've looked at doing, then um, you're one of our mentors for sure. Like the being able to listen to your podcast, listen to the things that you say, and it's a lot of it is things you either didn't put into words before, and now it clicks, and now you understand what you were thinking or what you were saying or what you need to do. Um, and that's been that's been very helpful. And
Love that. Well,
just
thank you.
yeah, being surrounded by
Yeah.
by that, by you.
So you had, let's kind of segue into this. You had the opportunity to come to the mastermind last week.
Mhm.
Talked about a lot of things. Talked about mindset, skill set, network. We talked about hiring people, being able to leverage your time. We talked about importance of social media, or growing people from your fringe to your friends to your inner circle. Maybe share, if you would, some
Mhm.
thoughts or takeaways, insights that you had while we were there, of
Yeah.
things that we talked about or things that you even learned. I thought a lot of great comments came from other people that were in attendance. Maybe
Yeah.
share some things that you took away from that.
Yeah. So, one of the bigger things that really stuck with me was not every year in your business having a different job
Yeah.
description, or I guess presence in your business, because it's something that you have to actually try to think about. Am I actually growing it, or am I just getting comfortable right now? What is our path to progress, and are we doing all of the things to get to that path? Because you're going to have to give and take things, and your job is definitely going to change. And can someone else do this job? And um, can I make it so that my time is better spent on working on this aspect of the business instead of where I've been for the last 10 years? And that is huge, and it's not something that I ever thought about. Like, if I'm being totally honest,
Yeah.
I never even
Most
considered
people
that. So,
Most people do the same job for 45 years, and
mhm.
then they die or they retire.
Well, and then yeah, it's like you get to where you want to retire, and you're like, I'm irreplaceable though.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't have an asset that's sellable
Yeah,
because I'm the asset.
yeah,
Right? It's like, I don't have any systems in place. I don't have any people. I don't have any way of creating, infinite growth. The only way that I have of growing is linear, and it's, I put in my time, and this is the output that I get.
mhm,
Right? It's kind of like being and I thought about this as you were explaining this earlier, when you and Eric felt like, hey, we need to like go create a gym that's not just, okay, Eric goes and trains for an hour and
mhm,
he gets X number of dollars per hour of
yeah,
training. His input equals an output.
mhm,
Now all of a sudden you go create a gym. Now all of a sudden you can have other trainers there. You're selling memberships. People are coming to be a part of it. It doesn't depend on, okay,
mhm,
whether or not Eric shows up that day to go
yeah,
train people. You can still
mhm,
be able to grow without having that.
yeah. Well, and I mean, it creates. Uh, you are working for your business. It's not the business is working for you, and that's something you said was that. And I think that was the point of the gym, but it's so easy to lose sight of that when you're looking at your numbers every month, and you're like, "Oh, if he just does this, this, and this a little bit more, then we'll get over our goal."
Yeah.
It's like, but that's not the point, actually. The point is for him to pull back a little bit
Yeah.
and be able to give different efforts into the business in different ways so that it can flourish.
How do I go create systems or go
Mhm.
delegate things to people that can be able to make this grow without?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's, in the fitness industry, then there's lots of trends. And that's one thing that we've tried to not get too into, which could be to our detriment sometimes, because it's like you could make a quick buck um, doing this fat loss trend
Yeah.
that's going on. But in the end, Eric is so dedicated to um, what really works. And, you know, there's so many different health things that you can do. And so, bringing light to that, but also making sure that it's things that'll last and not, you don't want to diminish your reputation or diminish the trust that people have in you because you were trying to sell the snake oil.
Yeah.
Um, you want to remain the trusted source that, in 15 years from now, then people are still going to remember that he's the guy that knows the things.
Yep.
Like, that's who we need to go to when we have these issues, or when I'm lost, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Then that's the guy. And so I think that's pretty important to.
Love it. Well, a few things to point out there. Yeah, building systems and delegating things to other people. I loved that. What you pointed out about your role in your business should change every single year.
Mhm.
If you're pushing yourself and growing enough in your business and creating enough new systems and delegating things to other people, you shouldn't be doing the same thing.
And attracting the right people into your business.
Yeah.
And that can be hard in different, depending on what roles you're looking for and what people you're looking for, then that can be hard, because it's like for us, then, there's a lot of really good trainers out there. A lot of them want to just work for themselves. What they get when they come to our gym is they get a team, and not everyone wants to be on a team. And I get it. It's, I would have had a real estate team if I wanted to be on a team. But the team aspect of it is what is really great about it, because you have your own built-in mentors. We have some trainers that have been with us since almost the beginning.
Yeah.
And they are incredible. They have so much knowledge. I mean, way beyond anything that I can come up with.
Yeah.
So, but this is their passion.
Yeah.
And I think having those people, because now you have the opportunity to learn from them.
A-level people, right? Like,
Yeah.
you go get A-level people in your business, they're going to be better at things than you are.
Totally.
And one of the keys to that is that you get to learn from them and take away from them.
Yeah. And the newer trainers that we get, then they get to learn from them. They get to grow with the business and with them. And they get mentorship from Eric and from them. And they get to learn sales side at the gym, because that's a whole nother thing, is that you can have a really great trainer that can't speak and they're not going to have any clients.
Yeah.
And so, like, they have to be able to communicate what they can do for you and what their value is. And then you get some that are really good at telling you how good they are. And maybe they are.
Yeah.
So
it's all, I mean, ultimately every problem in every business comes down to mindset, skill set, network, right? Like, you can boil everything down to one of those three. And the better you create your mindset, the better you create your skill set, the better you create your network. Like, I could be the best trainer in the world, but guess what? If I have a really crappy network and no one even knows who I am, no one's going to pay me to train them. Well, I'm the best. Like, you literally could be the best trainer.
Yeah.
If no one knows you, likes you, or trusts you, you're not going to have clientele. Or imagine that you get to a point where anyone is willing to pay virtually any sum of money to be trained by you because you are so good. You had to have created a great network, but you created a skill set ahead of time. And you never would have created that skill set if you didn't have the belief that that opportunity was there in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's...
Yeah, no, it all ties together. You have to have it all.
No, love it. Last question I have for you. You're a mom. You balance all these other things on top of doing that. I think that the world lies to women, perhaps more than it lies to anyone, in telling them that you can't be a mom and you can't have a career, or that being a mom ruins your life, or that kids are, a drain, or that they take away, which I couldn't, couldn't be further from the truth. How do you find balance in taking care of your family, caring for your kids, and balancing the other demands of your career?
Well,
and what would you say to
moms out there? A lot of people may not like my opinion on that, because it is very different than what we've all been told when we were young, that, like, you can go be anything. Yes, you can go and be anything. But I feel like our society has really pushed women away from wanting to have kids. and or just pushing them to wait until they have kids until their late 30s. Um, I when I got pregnant with Walker, I didn't want kids at that time. I I did not see myself as a mom. I was like, I'm too selfish and like I gotta get really good at whatever I'm gonna do. Um, and having when I found out I was pregnant with him, I cried in the bathroom for like all day at work because I took a pregnancy test at work. And um, I felt like I just ruined my whole bodybuilding career. I like all these things that I wanted. Um, and then after when I delivered him, then I have never felt the joy and the completeness of like my soul as when I held him in my arms the first time. And that was, and you're still in this society that was, well, even though you had a baby, you can still get right back to work at 12 weeks. And I could, like, that's why I was in real estate, and I carried him around with me to all of my showings, and I told everyone that like I've got a baby with me, so like this is how I got to do it.
Yeah.
But I really wish that someone had told me earlier that it didn't have to be that way. Because I my trajectory on life changed a lot from what I was expecting of myself, that if I wanted to be valuable in society, then I needed to be a career woman. And I think that I found more joy and value in actually stepping back and putting more intentional effort into raising my kids um, to be men when they grow up. Then they're going to have a loving mom that the things I need to work on are patience, but like they don't get away with a lot, but I am their person that will comfort them. And that seeing them evolve changed a lot, and it really changed my perspective, because we keep getting pushed to have kids later in life, build your career first, do this. It's okay to want to be a mom, and it's okay to want to not have a career, to work on building the generations that are coming up and build them appropriately, so then they are members of society that make society better. They are building our community. And I mean, that's why I love youth sports, and I love putting time and effort into the kids, because they need to be around men and adults that are a great example of what that means and what that looks like, how to set goals. That's why we do sports for kids. You need to learn how to lose and how to get better.
How to be a teammate, or how to not
Yeah.
make a team, or how to like
Yeah.
suck and then
And
learn and become better.
yeah, and it's like the changes that you see in your kids as they're going through sports is really beautiful, because they're at least for me, then maybe I overthink it, but like Walker, he made the 10U team, or the 10UB team in hockey, when he'd only been playing hockey for like half a year, and that was really good for him. And he was not the best player on the team, let's be very honest. He was a third string player. But he knew how to try. He knew how to work hard, and he made sure that he outworked every single kid, that he knew how to hustle at times. Because I mean, one of the pep talks that I had given him was like, no, you're not good at stick handling, and you're not good at like skating really, but you know how to put effort in. And if you skate faster than everybody else, let's work on that, because that is in a game that's going to make a bigger difference right now. And so he's worked his butt off to be a better stick handler, to be a better skater, and to be powerful, and just to be this immovable object when he's on the ice. And it's a very physical sport. And so his evolution in one season was so drastic. And it was really amazing to watch that. And then his younger brother, Logan, is like a little bull out on the ice. Like he they both really love hockey. And that is one thing that set their goals of what are we doing every single morning? We're like, this is our list of our routine that we do. And this is so that I can have time to then train for hockey and then make the 18. Like Logan is 8, and his goal last year when he was 7 was to make the 10U team. So he's like they know how to set goals, and they know that they can't achieve them right now, but they're going to work until they do, and they're going to do what it takes to do that. And so yeah, sorry, I went off topic.
No, you're a Brit mom, and it's awesome to see that like your boys have some unfair advantages in life because they have parents that clearly love them and are embodying some of these things. You know, we even taught this at the class last week, where you have a goal, right? Like if your goal is, you know, I want to make the 10U team, or I want to be in this position, or we use the example of being a varsity basketball player. What do you need to do?
Yeah.
You need to be able to skate faster. You need to be able to handle better. You need to be able to do this, or like whatever those attributes are. Okay, then what am I doing every day to get closer to that? It's like you're already doing that. But you may not even realize that that's what you're doing, but that's like a lesson that these kids are learning. So when it's like, okay, hey, I'm going to learn how to be a real estate agent. I'm going to learn how to start a gym. Well, I don't know how to do it, but I know how to draw this, and I know how to come up with the 5 attributes I need to have, and I know how to be able to set daily goals for all these things that I need to get better at. And you're modeling that, and you're teaching that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what, going back to your question, that's what's fulfilling for me, is that like I still love doing real estate. I love doing stuff for the gym and helping the gym grow. But I really love being a mom and being present and intentional with them and watching. I mean, you can see the fruits of your efforts just in the way that they
Manifest in your own
change.
kids.
Yeah.
Right? And nothing's more fulfilling than that.
Yeah. And it's like the trust that we've developed with them. Like they don't lie to us. They don't they don't try to get out of being in trouble anymore. Like, you know, everyone goes through that where they're like, if I don't do, but
I love your answer. I love what you shared about, like, I could not agree more that being a mom is the most important job in the world. And I wish that more women knew and saw and understood that, and like providing a platform and a voice to be able to share something contrary than what the world tells you. Like, being a mom will fulfill you more than anything else will. It's not a handbag. It's not a French bulldog. It's not a, you know, any, you know, IFBB Pro card or anything like that. Like, nothing is going to make you happier or more fulfilled than being a mom, being a parent, changing the lives of your own kids, and then, you know, hopefully make an impact on people for generations.
Exactly. And leading them by example, because that also holds you very accountable. Like, if I'm yelling at them to clean their room, they are very quick to be like, Mom, your room is real messy. Like, or, you know, whatever it is. Mom, did you work out today? Because I didn't see you work out today. And it's, I don't know, it's really fulfilling. And I wish that I had known that sooner, and didn't have that mindset that I needed to be a career woman, and that's what's important, and that I can let someone else raise my kids, essentially, or like I'll be there when, you know, but I'm going to take the easy road.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's been a lot more fulfilling for me. And and it's also hard to make that change too, because you do feel like you're going to be kind of judged by people. I mean, for a long time, then um, you would hear a mom that was a stay-at-home mom, and you're kind of like, oh, so like, what do you do with your time?
Yeah.
Like, what do you, so, okay. But that's not like, that is not the case at all. And so I don't know. I wish that there was more voices like that being said for women, is that um, there's a time and a place. And if you should set goals, you should have goals, and you can do things, but also make sure that you prioritize how you want your life to look like and what you want to do. So
Absolutely amazing. Kaycee, thanks for joining us.
thank you.
Incredible. It's been fun having you. And honestly, I feel like we could do a whole nother episode on diving deeper and all this stuff. But thank you for your time. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
If people want to contact you or follow you or whatever, where do they find you? Whether they have real estate needs or
Yeah, I am on Boise Premier's website. I'm also on on Instagram. I am Real Estate by Kaycee, and my name's Kaycee Cafferty. If you need it, I'm on Facebook as well.
look her up, follow her. We'll link her in all the clips from this as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Kaycee.
Thank you.